Hello, and welcome back to Violet Memoir. Wallace has had a fun time these last few parts, hasn't he? I guess we'll see if he's doing the okays, you know? The stairwell itself feels different now. It's just as cold as the corridor, but the air feels refreshing. A very light, gentle breeze brushes against my face, and the sensation of relief that surges through me is familiar. It's like when I left home, but with a more frantic movement and breathing. I barely managed to manage a few steps before needing to lean against the handrail, my breath still coming out as a heavy rasp that echo in the silent stairwell. Seconds go by in near silence, and I can feel myself calming down. My breathing begins to get slower and slower until it's a barely audible pant. It's at the moment that I realize just what's been going on. What an awful fucking dream. Did I really think that up? I don't think I was that disturbed. But it was so vivid, so raw. I could feel the coldness of the key in my hand, and the sound of his snapping neck is still ringing in my head. The way he hung there, like there was nothing left but cold resentment staring down at me. That empty, hollow stare, the rush of emotions, the total silence. Emotions overwhelming me, and I need to sit down, but my legs won't move anymore. I didn't realize how tired I am, and not for the lack of sleep. Not anymore. I think I'm just a bit fatigued from working myself up, or at least I hope so. Shuffling over towards the stairs, I sit down on the bottom step and pull out my phone. My thumb hovers over the message tab, but the thought that his message might be there is terrifying. Pushing through the hesitation, I open up my texts, bracing myself for whatever I might find. But there's no weird message there, and nothing from Marcus at all, just my latest text from Lily. Of course it wasn't real. Why would it be? Despite the relief flowing through me, there's a lingering ache still in my chest as my eyes linger on my saved message folder. I'm not allowed to dwell on it, though, as a silence is shattered by the sounds of someone jogging up the hall. Just a few moments later, a familiar face rounds the corner. It's Oscar, and his face is plastered with a smile once again, and it looks a lot more contained than usual, like he's putting it on for my sake.
Oh, there you are. I was worried I was gonna have to run and catch up to you.
I'm sorry, I probably freaked you out.
What? Nah. You were fine. Just had me worried for a second before I realized that you were just having a nightmare.
Just having a nightmare. God, I made such a big scene over nothing. I bury my face into my hands, feeling my chest grow warmer with each second. That feeling of anxiety and surrealness sobs into humiliation.
You doing okay?
Oscar speaks in that a soft tone he used when reassuring me in the classroom. It doesn't match his boisterous personality, but it's filled with the sincerity that's always surrounding him. But is it really that unlike him? And now that I think about it, Oscar's always been looking out for me, even when I was a complete stranger to him. I always thought of myself as an open-minded person, but I think I'm a lot more judgmental than I thought. Yeah, I'm okay. It was just a really silly nightmare, sorry. I don't know why I freaked out so much. It just felt so real. I guess the panic didn't leave after I woke up.
You look like you really, you looked real shook up, man. It sounds like you need to take your mind off it.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Of course I'm right. Now, wanna get out of here.
What? Taking my face out of my hands, I can see Oscar is standing right in front of me. He's leaning over me, and it's a staunch reminder of just how tall Oscar is. He towers over me with that smile still covering his face like it always does. His eyes are shimmering with excitement, and he bends down further to get closer to my height. After squatting a bit, After squatting a bit as well, he manages to get to my eye level. His face is only a few inches away from my own, and it causes my face to flush for a different reason. The smell of chlorine fills my nostrils, but... Nostrils? Why did I say it like that? Nose. But it's mixed in with an underlying otter musk. It's a thick smell that pushes through the distinct chemical scent.
I don't have any classes for the rest of the day, so I'm free to cheer you up.
You don't have to, really. I should just go home and sleep.
Do you want to go home and sleep after that?
The thought of potentially sinking back into the nightmare is a daunting prospect. That suffocating hallway of decay and the image of the gallows isn't something I want to relive anytime soon. Not really.
Exactly, so, you should let me make you feel better.
Make me feel better?
Yeah, by cheering you up. You sure you're still not up to it? Wait, you sure you're still not out of it?
Wait, is he not flirting with me? That was flirting, right? Do I just have a dirty mind? No way. What he did in the library was too overt. There's just no way it's not flirting. He must be messing with me. Maybe I should just ask. Hey, Oscar.
Yeah?
His smile looks to be getting wider as if he knows exactly what I'm going to ask, his eyes flashing a glint of mischief that makes me wonder if I'm stepping into a trap. Are you... I'm interrupted by the sound of multiple footsteps coming down the hall, and I become more aware of just how close our faces were. Quickly pulling away, Oscar only gives a light chuckle and straightens up himself. Around the corner comes Lily and the other two group members. I quickly get up off the step. Off the step, yes. Okay, yeah, he's on the stairs. I already forgot. Not wanting them to worry too much about me. I don't think I'll be too successful, but I have to try. She has a look of shock on her face when she sees us at the stairs, and her sudden stop almost causes the other two to walk into her. Oh, I didn't think you guys would be here. Are you okay? You looked really upset earlier. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Oscar cheered me up.
He looked like he needed it, you know?
The otter suddenly wraps an arm around my shoulder, pulling me against him for only a moment as he rubs my shoulder. I'm glad you're doing better, but you probably shouldn't head home right away. You're probably still rather vulnerable, and no one should be alone after a panic attack. Yeah, I understand. You're probably right. Are we going back to class? Oh, no. I talked to the professor and he said we could leave early. I just explained that we had already decided on the topic earlier and wanted to make sure you were okay.
Looks like the meeting yesterday wasn't just for fun. Though it was definitely fun. We gotta do it again sometime.
Lily giggles at his childish enthusiasm, but Lucas and Lele are ignoring him, focusing on me instead, their neutral expression hiding what they're thinking. The atmosphere of having everyone together is warming and relaxing. It really does feel like I'm surrounded by a group of friends. I do have more classes today, so I can't stay around, but I'm sure there's someone else who has finished all their classes for the day. Guys?
I don't go to my other classes anyway. I was going to the library to study. It's quiet there if you know where to go. I'm finished for the day, but I have to go pick up my sister. She has soccer club on Wednesdays, and she'll be done soon. I don't like to leave her to walk home alone. You can come, though. I'm all clear for the day, too. Was just going to head over to the gym for a swim, though. Would love if you came along, Wallace. Not often I get to show off my swimming abilities. It's what we otters were built for, you know?
I feel like it isn't his swimming skills he wants to show off.
I told you, I'll cheer you up, and trust me when I say that this is the best way to do it.
His eyes have that beautiful shimmer to them again. It's hard to resist getting lost in them. He's really trying to look out for me, even if he's going about it in his own strange way.
My offer for Monday still stands too.
Your offer?
Yeah, to come swimming with me. Surely you remember that. You gotta come with. Unless you don't want to.
He walks closer and leans down a bit to whisper into my ear, my first standing up as he does.
I wouldn't want to make you uncomfortable.
He flashes me that same mischievous smile he had when he was showing off in the library before moving away again. Lele is glaring at Oscar, but the otter ignores him, looking incredibly proud of himself. Looks like you got a lot of options. I'm gonna head off to get some food before the next class. I'll text you later to make sure you're doing good, okay? Yeah, thanks. I'm sure I'll be fine, though. I bet you will, too. Doesn't mean I don't get to be worried. And with that, she skips up the stairs. She seems to always have this positive aura about her. It's infectious. I already miss having her presence in the group.
So, Wallace, who are you going with?
Sorry, I mean, we already did the Oscar choice before, right? Might as well keep going. I think I'll go with you, Oscar. Getting some exercise might do me some good. At least taking a shower there might clear my head.
Hell yeah. Trust me, you'll have a great time.
Oscar shifts, and that's all the warning I get before his tail wraps around me, sweeping me against his side. My face softly smacks against his chest with a barely audible thud.
Oh, that's one for the pool party. Wait, that's one for the pool party. Any other takers?
Lucas and Lele both stare at the otter, a look of skepticism across both of their faces. Lele's the first one to break the silence, shaking his head in disbelief.
I gotta pick up my sister. Just make sure you take care of Wallace, alright? He seems to trust you a lot.
Lele begins to walk past us, but stops next to me. The concern in his eyes as he looks down is palpable.
You sure you're doing okay?
I'm feeling better, and Oscar seems like a fun time. Better to get my mind off of things, right? He doesn't look too convinced, but he eventually nods. He looks reluctant, but I think he trusts my judgment. He turns away, giving one final remark as he walks towards the stairs.
If you need me, just call.
I'll be fine. Oscar isn't that bad.
I can hear the two of you, you know.
Oscar lays a hand on my shoulder and pulls me tight against him. The playful hug is nearly smothering me. The offended tone in his voice isn't showing on his face at all, looking amused instead. Stopping at the first step, Lele just looks back one final time. I think he's going to lecture us some more, but he just sighs and heads up the stairs, a hint of a smile on his lips. I feel a light tickling sensation on my cheek, and I turn my head to find Oscar leaning down to my height, his gaze lingering at where Lele had just been standing.
I'm not actually that bad, right? You'd tell me if I made you uncomfortable, right?
He whispers under his breath, but I catch Lucas's ears flicking regardless. Subtlety isn't Oscar's forte, but I think that's part of why I find him so endearing. I'm reminded of my conversation with Oscar in class and how safe he made me feel at the moment. Yeah, I will. Lele's just worried. I don't think he dislikes you that much.
Probably. He seems like the type to get worried too much. Probably hasn't gotten laid in ages.
He gives a light chuckle, and the mood's lightening again. Oscar really is good at doing that. Even Lucas looks more relaxed at that comment. It's like a superpower. The infectious mood too strong to resist, and I find myself laughing alongside him at absolutely nothing. Lucas looks incredulous, but he stays quiet. That makes him burst out one of his signature grins before pulling me into a hug, lifting me directly off the ground. He does it so effortlessly that I can't tell if I'm light or if Oscar's just ripped enough that it doesn't matter.
That's what I like to hear. Okay, let's get ready for the pool.
Like it didn't even happen, he puts me on the ground with surprising delicacy. As soon as he makes sure I'm secure, he whirls around to Lucas, making the poor guy jump.
What about you? Want to make it a threesome?
Lucas looks like he's about to fall over. Utter disbelief is smeared across both of our faces. He sputters for a few seconds before finally forming any coherent sentence.
What? A threesome? I knew you were a brazen, but I didn't think you were that bold.
The fox crosses, the cross fox looks like he's about to overheat, a darker shade of blush peeking through the dark fur on his cheeks and ears. The awkward discomfort he's radiating causes Oscar to lift up a hand to soothe him.
Whoa, calm down there, buddy. I'm kidding, it's just a figure of speech. Really? Sorry, I'm not really good with those. It's okay, man. Plus, I feel like I was going to have a threesome with 2 virgins. I'd want Wallace to be having a better day. Yes, that makes sense. I'm a bit surprised. I always thought you were some guy who'd fuck anything that moved.
I'm left gaping at the two of them. I know Lucas has a habit of saying stuff like this, but he's never been this sincere about it.
But you're a lot better than I thought. I misjudge you. Sorry.
It's so overwhelmingly formal, but I can tell from the way the fox is shuffling back and forth on his feet that he's nervous. It's endearing, and from the gentle smile on Oscar's face, I think he thinks so as well. Okay.
Don't worry about it, man. I don't mind. So, you want to join us? You look cute in swim trunks.
Lucas's ears go red once again, but this time he looks to be trying to contain his reaction, putting his usual resting bitch face back on.
I got to study in the library. I need to make sure I'm up on my other classes, plus I wouldn't want to intrude. Looks like your attention is focused on Wallace, and I wouldn't want to overstep.
Before either of us can respond to that, Lucas seems to be walking towards and up the stairs. He doesn't give a chance for either of us to react until he stops and looks back.
I'll check on you later, Wallace. Okay?
Sure. But I'm not able to reply before he vanishes up the stairs. What an enigma. Kind words in that snappish tone. I don't think he was upset, but more embarrassed. He definitely doesn't do well with compliments, but he doesn't look as uncomfortable as before. I wonder if Oscar is growing on him.
Damn, I guess that leaves just us.
I expected that to sound flirty, but he sounds genuinely disappointed. He's staring up at the stairs with a longing expression, something I'm not used to seeing. Looks like he really did want to spend time as a group. It's not a sad sight. Oscar's energy rarely allows for that, but it's a bittersweet sight. There's always another day, right? We don't have to just hang out together.
Yeah, always got tomorrow.
Bouncing around on his paws, I'm almost lurched against him as his tail drags me along. His unending supply of energy is bursting out of every muscle on his body, like a supercharged battery.
Now it's time we head out. Are you okay with a walk?
Yeah, I think I'll be fine.
Sure, I can carry you on my shoulders if you want. I bet you'd never seen things from this height.
He gives me a wink, and it's obvious he's joking, but I can't help but wonder what things look like from that height. I've always been shorter than my peers. It's refreshing to have Lucas and Lily around my height. I'm sure. People would probably think I'm your kid or something. There's a moment of laughter between us, and the warmth that Oscar radiates returns. A supernova wouldn't be as bright as him. It's like the mood itself bends to suit him.
So, let's go.
Without a moment's hesitation, he grabs my wrist and pulls me towards the stairs. After I fumble up the first couple of steps, much to Oscar's amusement, we race the rest of the way towards the exit. We'll make it a threesome? You thought that would go down well? My tone's teasing, but the bewilderment in my voice is genuine. There's no way he thought that was going to go well. We're walking down the veranda alongside the campus courtyard. There's plenty of students flowing between classes or just hanging around campus, but the veranda itself is rarely quiet.
Well, yeah, I was clearly joking. Anyone would have caught that.
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah? You calling me a flirt?
A glance at Oscar confirms to me that he isn't being serious, but the question still lingers and brings back many questions of my own. I didn't get the chance to ask Oscar if he's being serious or not. He doesn't seem like the type of guy to get upset or anything, so there's no harm in asking, right? Hey,
Yeah?
something about the way I asked that must have come across as odd because his usual carefree expression is a bit contained and his movement isn't as eccentric and bouncy as it had been just moments ago. So, I've been wondering for a while now, but
Yes?
like a switch, Oscar leans towards me with a glint in his eyes, that caution melting away and leaving a look of mischief in the wake. The way he's looking down at me sends a shiver through my spine. He had the same look when I was going to ask him the first time. Does he already know what I'm going to ask? Are you into me? Wait, I mean, is your flirting real? Not to say that you're being fake. You're one of the most sincere. Before I can even finish my jumbled mess of a sentence, Oscar pushes me against the wall of one of the buildings. He's not rough, more guiding, and I feel my breath getting caught in my throat. He's pinning me against the wall of one of the university buildings. The otter dwarfs me and forces me to look up as he leans over me, but I don't feel intimidated. What I do feel is immense anxiousness. The close proximity is overwhelming my senses. The heat coming off of his chest is familiar, but somehow it feels more potent, and his natural mustelid scent is overwhelming the scent of chlorine that he usually emanates. There's no words between us, but not due to the lack of trying. There's so much I want to say, but they're all caught in my throat. So many emotions are swirling in my head. Fear of people seeing, surprise by Oscar's actions, and curiosity for what comes next. His expression is unchanged, sorry. It's still that same expectant smirk and knowing eyes. His gaze is enough to make my face flush and divert his gaze downwards. But looking down, I'm confronted with the rest of Oscar, especially how constrained and tight his shirt is on his body. The whole situation is so overwhelming. Before I could lose myself to my nerves, the otter does something even more brazen. He slides himself down the wall, closes the distance until our faces are barely an inch apart. Barely a few hairs between us. There's no opportunity to even be self-conscious about the world around us anymore. Oscar's taking up all of my attention.
What if I was being serious?
Oscar's grin spreads wider, and I can see his teeth. Their whiteness is mesmerizing, but his eyes are even more so. They've lost that smug look and are dripping with genuine earnestness. His thick tail rubs against my leg, getting nowhere besides my outer thigh. Well, woo. He's showing restraint, but the light stimulation still has my fur standing up on end like electricity is running through me.
I'm not making you uncomfortable, am I?
No, not yet. My breathing is heavy and my heart is racing, but there's a thrill to the way Oscar is being so forward. It doesn't help that I'm covered in his body heat and scent, forcing all of my senses to focus on him.
You're really cute, Wallace. Real cute.
His face edges even closer, not enough to touch, but enough that I can feel his breath on my fur. It's heat blowing against my skin. I don't dislike it.
I am having fun, but I mean everything I do. At least when it comes to you.
Why me?
Because you're cute. That's what caught my eye.
Despite my best efforts to hide it, my ears droop a little at that. It makes sense, but having it be something so surface level is disheartening.
At first, no need to get all mopey. You're kind, and you have a lot of potential in you. I know I can sense it.
Potential?
Oh, for fun. I know it's in there. I see it when we laugh together. I thought you were cute when I met you, but the way we clicked is what made you keep my attention.
You've only known me a few days.
Yeah. I just said you're holding my attention. I'm not making any commitments here. Not my thing anyway.
Not your thing?
Yeah. I prefer it with no strings attached, you know.
Oh.
Lighten up. There's nothing wrong with a bit of fun, right?
No, I just, not sure if I'm ready for that. He chuckles as if I just said something truly amusing, but his eyes never leave me. They're observing me, but it doesn't feel objectifying, but more like he can't take his eyes off me, and it steals my breath away. All right, I'll end the part here, everyone. So I'll see you around.